I am so glad you are here. I am so glad you are here. Not sure we got that the first time. I am talking today about divination techniques. We're adding this to our weekly schedule, so now we've got something every day of the week. And I'm going to talk to you guys about pendulums today. I love pendulums. If you've never done any form of divination, or you could think of it as tapping into your subconscious to figure out more about how you truly think and feel about things, pendulum's a good first start. It really is. It's not complicated. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. And it's something you can usually afford to pick up a basic one. So this is a basic pendulum. This one's a stone pendulum. It's a ruby feldspar. So I would use a ruby feldspar pendulum specifically about relationships and most especially romantic ones. So this is a pendulum I would use to see, are, Chris and Jenny a good match? That kind of thing. And the way to find out is to hold your pendulum in your dominant hand. Mine is my right hand, so you'll see I've got my right hand holding it, even if this looks like a mirror. And some people like to put their other hand under it, sort of creating a little circuit of energy between the two hands, if you can imagine. And then, if you've never held one before, the first thing I would want you to do is close your eyes. Don't look at the pendulum. Don't let the pendulum sway you in any way. And I want you to think about an amazing yes, the most amazing yes that you could get right now or ever in your life. And you're just going to hold it and you're going to think of that amazing yes and how good it feels to get that yes. And do that for a good 30, 60 seconds. Just concentrate on that yes and then open your eyes and see how it's moving. Mine was moving kind of diagonally back and forth. Then pause it again and think about a no. A no you do not want to hear, a horrible no. And concentrate on that awful feeling of no. Again, close your eyes. You don't want anything visual to sway you. And just keep thinking of that no for 30 seconds to a minute and open your eyes again and see how it's moving. So this time it's a little more circular for me. It's a pretty decent response. If it just hangs straight, it's not your pendulum. It's also not your pendulum if once you've established what yes looks like and what no looks like with that pendulum for you, you ask it, are you the right pendulum for me? Actually, it settles into a pretty nice yes. This one would love to come home with me. This little ruby feldspar Joy would love that. Now, this is a basic pendulum. So these tend to be like in the $10 to $15 range. They're not too bad. Sometimes they're even a little less than 10. You can get super fancy. We've got sterling silver settings with a capstone on top. They're all beautiful. You can spend $100 or $200 on a good pendulum, but test it. I don't care if it costs you 10. I don't care if it costs you 100. It has to be the right pendulum for you. So establish your yes with that pendulum, get that relationship going, establish your no, and then ask it, are you the pendulum for me? And it will tell you. And sometimes your financial subconscious takes over and says, no, $110, not the right pendulum for us. And sometimes your heart takes over and says, well, actually, yeah, this would be the best pendulum in the world if we can do it. Let's do it. And then you get to make the decision. Once you've established your yes or no, and you know that the pendulum is your buddy, you can ask it all kinds of questions. You can ask it, should I take that new job? As long as it's a yes or no question, it's up for grabs. You can ask it, should I ask so-and-so out? Any question that you can answer with a yes or no, you can do with a pendulum. Now, it can get more complex than this, but if you've not done divination before and you want to try a pendulum out, stick to the yeses and nos for now. When you're ready, there are more books on the subject, even books that contain charts that can help you work well with them. You can even run these over your chakras to see how your chakras are doing, how they respond to each of the chakras. And that can give you an idea of how well your energy is doing and where you might want to focus. So, I'm a little over time. This is Liz at Megas Books and Herbs in Minneapolis and at megasbooks.com. Wishing you wonderful divination. Blessed be.